Right, good.
Play number 14, please. And this will be the cue for somebody to call.
You were supposed to be, as we're speaking here, you were supposed to be behind bars.
And matter of fact, I have the document. I was given the document this morning in my hands. This trucker by the name of Cameron Balcombe, better known as Dinky Balcombe, Lamba Balcombe's son, worked at a time, I think, and carry cement for us from Kingston to Yambu. My person in the office who are keeping the record would make up the payment vouchers and bring them for me along with a check, and I will sign the check. For some reason, Dinky is saying that the amount that he get paid for to bring out to Yambo is not the amount that he would have brought. He would have brought more. But my staff insists that Dinky get paid for what he brought. Okay? Now, shortly after that, the business was closed, and naturally the staff and everything went home. So we were never able to sort out this thing with Dinky. So Dinky used the opportunity at this time to take the matter to court, get judgment, because I didn't attend. Because honestly, at that time I didn't want anything at all to upset my head with this struggle which I had going on. Because it was really taking this struggle that I was going through was really taking an emotional toll on me. And to going to a court, so I didn't go. So he get judgment. And then after the judgment, he did go through all the process, and this is what was sent to me. Was a summon that I should be locked up. I should be taken to the prison to be in prison for 6 weeks for owing to Dinky Balcombe. Never contested, because I never able to contest the matter in court. And that's the honest truth. That is exactly how it happened. Because I know if our office was operating, my staff would have gone to court with me and able to say that Dinky get paid for what was transported. And that was what I was going to prison for 6 weeks for owing Dinky Balcombe, Cameron Balcombe, $11,036 for 6 weeks.
So now, Mr. Balcombe, that is your cue.
Let's see if we have a money line.
Yes.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, a pleasant morning.
Good morning, sir.
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, Frank. Good morning, Mr. Crick.
Who is this?
This is Cameron Balcombe, better known as Dinky Balcombe.
Ah, my friend Cameron Balcombe. How are you this morning?
I am very fine, thank you.
Good. Well, you need to shed some light on this matter here. You heard Bigger Biggs a short while ago. In fact, the whole country heard him.
Leave him, Mr. Balcombe.
I was rather appalled. I went away for about a month with my family, and I just happened to have tuned into your radio station sometime last week.
Yes.
And I heard that clip. And I just want to start on this note, first of all, that I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions.
Okay.
And I also would like the general public to know, especially those persons who are listening abroad, as we would say in cyberspace, that because a volcano is dormant or appears to be dormant, it does not mean that it is not active. I have taken a bow from politics since 2005.
Yes.
I am not calling at this point in time to go through that or why I would have, taken a bow, so to speak.
Right.
But if needs be, I will definitely have to get active again with my mouth, because there's a lot of things that I know and I keep to myself.
Okay.
But as people say, there's a time for everything.
Well, let me talk about Dinky. No, sorry, let me talk about Bigger Biggs.
Right, I'm coming to that.
Yes, go ahead.
Now, I received a phone call sometime in 2008. Let us get the dates correct, because I don't like to repeat myself, but if I have to, then so be it. And I received a call from Mr. Leon Samuel, better known as Bigger Biggs, on a Sunday morning in 2008, asking if I can send one of my trucks to aid him in the removal of some rubble that is the result of them breaking a building down, which is the British American, formerly the British American building. They were moving the materials from Kingston to Mespo. Not cement, rubble.
No, but he said cement.
Right. Okay, I'm coming to that. And I said to Mr. Biggs, because I've had business dealings with him before, which did not leave a palatable taste in my mouth. Let us leave it at that.
Okay.
I said, how much is it that you are paying? He said to me he's paying $300 per load.
Yes.
I fueled the truck up at a cost of about $1,050. That is what it takes to fill up one of those truck tanks with diesel. I summoned my driver, a gentleman called Roxy from Park Hill, and I sent him on his merry way. When I sent the invoice to Mr. Biggs, I sent the invoice. The truck did 6 loads, and the invoice, the date in October was Sunday the 9th of October. That was the date that the work was carried out.
Okay.
The invoice read 6 loads transportation of rubble from the British American building Kingston to Yambu on the 9th of October. Truck number TC899, and the amount 1,800.
Right.
Now 300 per load by 6 loads, if my math is correct, is $1,800.
Your math is indeed correct.
Right. Mr. Biggs paid me a check of $900 and said to me in a very nasty tone that that was not the agreement. Now, I have had problems with him several years prior to that with the same kind of nonsensical attitude. I got my lawyer, Mr. Dwayne Daniel, to write to Mr. Bigger Biggs on the 2nd of February 2009, taking into account that this occurred in 2008.
Yes.
October. Right.
2008. It says, Mr. Leon Samuel Bigger Biggs Trucking Block Company Limited, Yambu. Dear sir, I write on behalf of my client, Mr. Cameron Balcombe of Montague House. I am instructed that by oral contract within the month of October 2008, my client agreed to transport 6 loads of rubble from the British American building in Kingston to Yambu on your behalf for the cost of $1,800. I have attached a copy of the invoice herein. Mr. Balcombe acknowledges the sum of $900 which you supplied on or about January the 12th, 2009 as part settlement for the outstanding debt. My client further instructs that on or about January the 24th, 2009, he contacted you and demanded settlement of the outstanding sum. He has allowed you ample time to pay him the remaining amount. However, his patience is now exhausted. We would like an amicable resolution to this matter. In the circumstances, you are hereby requested to contact these chambers within 7 days receipt of this letter to arrange to settle this matter on my client's behalf. Should you fail to accede to this request, my client will be left with no option but to institute legal proceedings against you without further notice for the matter complained of and cost. Yours respectfully, Dwayne A. Daniel, on behalf of Cameron Balcombe, or Bally & Bally Investment Limited, which is my company.
Yes.
And Mr. Bigger Biggs refused, simply ignored this letter, right?
Right.
Go ahead.
Leading to the court proceedings, for those persons who are ignorant, and I say ignorant not in the sense that Vincent use ignorant,
who have no knowledge,
meaning high temper,
yes,
but ignorant meaning who have, because we are all ignorant of a lot of things.
Yes.
When you go to court, you take somebody to court in the magisterial court. You have what you call an ex parte judgment if that person does not stand trial. If they do not appear,
yes,
the court will determine whether or not they should resummons the person, or whether or not the court should give them what is called an ex parte judgment.
Yes.
I was given an ex parte judgment against Leon Samuel because Mr. Samuel did not show up to court. After the ex parte judgment, you have what you call a JDS, which is the judgment debt summons.
Yes.
Which the court would summons Mr. Samuel for the debt that is owed.
Yes.
Mr. Samuel did not show up to court.
Right.
Take in mind, we're speaking about an incident which occurred in 2008.
Yes.
Mr. Bigger Biggs said on his recording, if I could remember correctly, that he could not have come to court because he had so much on his mind in relation to the matter which was taking place, I imagine, in Rabuka.
Yes.
Now, when this incident occurred with myself and Mr. Biggs,
he was still mining.
that was nowhere on the horizon. I want people to understand that.
He was
that
still
was
mining
on the horizon.
In fact, let me tell them, Mr. Bigger Biggs got his problem. It began at Rabuka in February 2011.
That's correct.
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Then you have what you call committal summons after the JDS. Mr. Bigger Biggs, Leon Samuel did not come to court. And then you have what is called a committal warrant that is issued. And therefore, if you don't pay by that time, you go to jail for 6 weeks. When you come back out, if you still don't pay, the debt is not forgotten. You put back in through your lawyer a committal warrant. They will pick the person back up and they will go to jail indefinitely until they pay the debt.
Right. That's how the court works.
Now, that is how the court works.
Yes.
Now, I was rather shocked when this gentleman is talking about time because Mr. Crick, Mr. De Silva, as you could rightly testify based on what I have just told you, from 2008, you have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, that is 6 years. You mean to tell me you couldn't even pay $100 a year and have the debt in half? No, I want to.
Is it your conclusion that he had no intention of honoring the debt?
That is my conclusion. But you see,
the contention is that he also simply think he is above the law, that he could ignore the court.
You see,
it is demonstrated here.
If Bigger Biggs, and I swear to you, sir, if you think my word means anything, if Mr. Samuel had called me, pick up the telephone and said to me, Mr. Balcombe,
give me some time.
Things are bad at the moment, and give me some time to pay. I had already told my wife, who is also a lawyer in the state of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that I am not going to pursue the matter any further. It is not about the money sometimes, sir. It's the principle.
Yes.
It is not about the money sometimes, it's the principle. I have lost much more than that, and I am still standing. And he did not pay me since 2008. I am still surviving. It is not about the money. I want people to understand that. But when people believe that they could use their own personal plight and they want to turn it into a political scenario or otherwise, because they believe that they have some persons who jump on a bandwagon and they're supporting them, although they don't even know the genesis of the whole thing. It hurts me. It hurts me from the bottom of my heart. And I would not tolerate anybody slandering. Before, I used to keep my mouth closed, Frank and Mr. Crick. But when I had an NDP meeting, that is the same meeting where I exited the political arena. Sir James Mitchell had asked me something and I kept silent, and he said silence is consent, and in that case what he had said to me, it was consent because it was true what he had said to me. Bigger Biggs did not come to court. Silence, I think means what I just said, consent.
That's
that
right.
he owed a debt, he did not come to defend himself. I want to further tell you the hypocrisy of this thing and the man. I did business with Mr. Samuel in 2011 before his mining operations were brought to an end, and I did business with Mr. Samuel in 2010. But I did
even knowing that he owed you money?
Right, so I bought a lot of aggregate. I used to have to go to Mr. Samuel's house in Mespo and pay the money in by cash before he would get his workers to come to load the trucks. And they would not even give you over 1 grain of sand. You hear what I'm saying, my friends? He would not even give you over a grain of sand.
So why couldn't Mr. Big say, well, all you did some money? Let me net it off against a thing.
Thank you, sir. So I'm just showing you, that he had ample time before it escalated to this. And as I said to you before, and I want the general public to understand me, I am not on a personal or political vendetta. I am here on behalf of Cameron Balcombe and my family.
Okay.
I do not want anybody to have my name on radio, and I do not want people to refer to me in any derogatory term.
Because Dinky, you're being regarded as being very wicked. Bigger Bigs was facing all these trials and tribulations. He was being victimized by the government, victimized by Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, and you, Dinky Cameron Balcombe, you so wicked that you nearly send him man to jail. That's the talk on the street. So right. I'm so glad to hear you calling in now and clearing the air.
Yeah, and as I said to you, Mr. Crick, and I mean that sincerely from the bottom of my heart, if Mr. Samuel had called, I had already told my wife that we are not going to pursue the matter.
Yes.
But you can't be outside. I mean, after knowing you supplied me with aggregate, I had to pay you thousands of dollars in cash.
Yes.
Before you would even give me materials, and you knew that you had money for me because we were in the court.
Yes.
I did not do anything outside of the law. I went to court, and I was even angry with the court, Mr. Crick. I called several times to find out why
you're taking so much time.
Justice being dispensed to Cameron Balcombe is because it is me that I'm not getting any justice in St. Vincent and Grenadines. I said that.
You thought you were taking too long?
I thought that they were taking too long. Because nobody came to me and said to me, Cameron, I am sorry, I made a mistake. You can't lie to me and tell me you're going to pay me $300 a load, Mr. Crick and Mr. De Silva. Would you send a truck? I want to ask the nation, and, I would not prolong, if, it doesn't permit me, because I know that you guys have your radio program and everything like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to take up a lot of your time. But would you send a truck to transport material from Kingston to Mespo back to Kingston for $150?
Hold on, let me ask you a question. The people who pick up sand and deliver it to my house, to any house, how much do they charge for a truckload? And what the sand will cost maybe $80, but they gotta pay $350 or something?
It's much more than that, Franklin. When you look at the cost,
all right. So I'm just bringing it to show people, the people who out there who buy in sand, okay, what they pay for the sand and what it costs the truck, the delivery charge. Go ahead.
People are saying that I'm wicked. I want to know who's wicked, because I want to tell you something as well. Before the gentleman there, Mr. Samuel, had bought his land, acquired lands in Rabuka to do his mining. And I do not give him any wrong. Everybody wants to be closer to the source of raw material, hence you have a cheaper product. It's cheaper for your production costs. He was striving, he was paying truckers, but he was paying them very little to bring Rabuka material. So all of that culminated to him wanting to buy a piece of land closer and set up his machines and everything like that in one proximity, because it was costing him a lot of money where the transportation was concerned, and he didn't want to pay people what they were demanding of him.
Well, that's good business
because
sense.
They tried to call me already, and I refused to walk. I refused to send my trucks because, I mean, if the FET can't pay for the light after you have the FET, then you have to overlek. And if you can't pay Vilnek, you know what's going to happen?
Cut off.
You understand me? But he was surviving before. If you cannot get what you want when you want it, do what you can until you could get what you want.
Yes.
You don't just throw your hands up in the air and say, let it be.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying, Mr. Crick and Mr. De Silva?
Clearly.
There are other persons in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who have thriving block business, who has to take sand from Rabuka, people as far as the leeward end of the country, and they're still making a profit. They're still managing to feed themselves and their family on a day-to-day and on a week-to-week basis. So I can't see how one person, because of whatever agenda they have, could just throw their hands up in the air and say that it was working for them all the time, but it is not working for them now.
All right.
Understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Good. Well, I want to thank you so very much for your call and your explanation.
And I will play the tape again
Yes,
so the
we-
people to hear.
And also, Frank,
Yes, sir.
find out also who got a concession on diesel and was selling diesel to truckers. And also find out,
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention anybody's name, find out who Bigger Bigs went and took thousands of cubic yards of dirt from to do the airstrip in Rabuka when they had relocated the airstrip in Rabuka. And up to today, he didn't even offer the man 1 red cent, not $1, not a penny. I leave it at that.
Good.
I want to thank you so much again for giving me the time on your radio program.
But Dinky,
And yes,
Balcombe, they will say I bias, because when you decided to put your hand in the ring, only one man showed up. What's that place out there? What the place out there?
that was at the Spotlight Stadium.
Oh, who showed up?
Frank De Silva.
Okay.
And Frank, listen to me.
Yes.
We have always been friends when you supported the NDP. And now that you support the ULP, we're even more better friends.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
so let me leave it at that.
Let me
Yes,
put
a
let me
friend
put you on the
in need.
spot, Dinky. Let me put
Leave
you on
him
the spot.
alone.
No,
Leave
I
my
can't.
friend alone.
Give it just 1 second. They said
Yeah.
a friend in need is a friend indeed. Frank was always there for me when I needed him. And Frank knew exactly what transpired, why I had to bow out of the political arena.
Yes.
You understand?
Let me put you on the spot now. You say he's supporting Frank now that he's supporting ULP. Is that an indication that...
I'm even more, you see, when I say more better friends, the friendship is a thing that grows, Mr. Crick.
Yes.
I could be good friends with you 10 years ago, but I'm even better friends with you 10 years into the
future,
because
yes.
I got to have known you even more. Even your wife, when you're in a marital relationship, sometimes we get married for love, infatuation, whatever, but if you stay together, it grows into something, that you can't explain.
Crystal can't
You
comment on
understand
that.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
But Dinky, let me ask you. Is that statement you made about Frank just now, is that an indication also that you support the ULP?
Would you leave the man alone?
I support Frank as a good friend, right? And
Yes.
I have always listened to Frank, and Frank is a person who gives you your justice, Mr. Crick.
Yes.
Frank does a lot of research, and Frank does not come on the radio and blackguard for the sake of blackguarding. You understand what I'm saying?
And
a lot of times
the short answer is what?
Our mouth and our tongue gets us into so much trouble.
Yes.
Sometimes when I listen to Frank quite keenly, and when he first started, the very first day, I happened to have come back from America, and I was so proud of him because of the tapes that he plays. When he says this person said that, it's not just about what Frank De Silva says. He gives you the evidence as well. And that is somebody who I could live with. That is somebody who I could work with. That is somebody who I could love, understand, and appreciate.
So Dinky, the short answer is that now that you know that Frank is supporting the ULP, you're going to follow his
Would
judgment
you
and
leave
support the ULP
Mr.
also.
Balcombe alone, Elsa?
When I heard that Frank was at the convention,
You got to tell them
ULP,
everything?
I was still in the States.
Yes.
I called Frank when I came back. I
That's
said, boy,
right.
the
Don't
in
tell
my
them
opinion-
everything, no, man.
Frank, keep quiet.
Okay, but this
Dinky,
I
you go
said
ahead.
my-
What you call and tell him?
Mr. Crick, I have to be very careful.
No,
I have to be very careful.
Frank, you keep
with what
quiet.
I say. But no, I said to Frank that in my opinion, in Dinky Balcombe's opinion, and I'm allowed to have my opinion,
Of course.
that I think that the NDP has lost a very, very important asset.
Mm-hmm.
And they say one man's gain or one man's loss
It's another man.
man's gain.
Mm-hmm.
One man's food or poison is another man's food, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So let me bow out gracefully now. At least you haven't asked me to come off the radio, which I
No,
appreciate very much.
because I'm still waiting for that answer.
let me. Well, I just understood as well when I went up in 2013 that the Prime Minister is in fact my fourth cousin.
Oh, this is getting
when I
better.
came back down, I went to see him and I confronted him with that, and he said he knew I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
And had I known, I am from the old school. You know what they say, blood is thicker than water.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying, Mr. Chris?
Of course, my
Had
friend.
I known that, they say blood is thicker than water.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really going to leave it at that. I want to thank you again. I want to thank those persons who have listened to me today. I hope that I would have answered all the questions that they would have had in their minds. Mm-hmm. And I hope that I would have put the final nail on the coffin of Bigger Biggs, Leon Samuel, with regards to me. And one more thing before I go.
Sure.
His mouth nearly slipped to call me worthless, you know. If you play your recording one more time, listen carefully.
We will play it right after.
I am glad that he did not. And I want, if the public has to call in today on that particular issue, when you hear it's just right at the beginning of the thing, I want the public to say whether or not they think that I am reading that properly, that his tongue nearly slipped to call me worthless.
Mm-hmm.
And if he did, he would have really had to prove that in a court of law, and then they would have said that I was a wicked person. But wicked in the sense that I'm using the law like everybody else to get justice for myself.
Good.
Thank you.
So
Thank you very much, Dinky.
Thank you so much. You have a very wonderful day.
Yes.
And thanks again for affording me the time on your station.
All right. Good.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. Now, we must play back Bigger Biggs.
Yes.
To get the context so that those persons who just saw Dinky and the documentation I have before me also bears out what Cameron Balcombe has said.
Right.
The dates and the money and the bill. There is a bill, Bali Investments Limited. And there's also the letter from Dwayne Daniel. Let's go listen to Bigger Biggs again.
You were supposed to be, as we're speaking here, you were supposed to be behind bars.
And matter of fact, I have the document. I was given the document this morning in my hands. This trucker by the name of Cameron Balcombe, better known as Dinky Balcombe, Lamba Balcombe's son, worked at a time I think and carry cement for us from Kingston to Yambu.
Wait. Stop.
Are keeping the record.
Let's analyze as we go along. Eh?
Yes.
He says he has a document in his hand.
That is the document where they said that was sent to him to have him arrested because he refused. First thing, right? You got listen on Thursday, the 9th of June, 2011. He's supposed to go to court. Didn't go.
Right.
So now on the 28th of January 2014, he is sent a document to pay the money. He refuses. You see, I keep getting my dates wrong because I write them a particular way.
Yes.
But this is on April the 6th, 2014. Another document. He still refuses to act. But he's there making out that this just all happens. And you know, in there he said he expected. At the end, I heard the part where he's saying something, but maybe he's going to say this Walker or something. Let me say that again. And Dinky,
let's play it.
Dinky was his truck. His company was not Mr. Balcombe working for Mr. Samuel. His truck was doing the work.
Yes.
Right.
Let's play the rest of the clip.
Right.
Would make up the payment voucher and bring them for me along with a check, and I will sign the check. For some reason, Dinky is saying that the amount that he get paid for to bring out to Yambo is not the amount that he would have brought. He would have brought more. But my staff insists that Dinky get paid for what he brought. Okay?
Pause it. A total lie. Absolute lie. According to the court documents we got in our hands.
Yes.
An absolute fabrication on the part of the fellow. And if you know you're going to go there to talk about this stuff, you would get your documents and you would maybe avoid the subject altogether.
Yes.
That's what he should have done.
Yes.
But no, he's been prepped by that lady to come and talk stupidness.
Which lady? Is that King?
Yeah, the 6 month, the tsunami, the bloodshed. Yeah, listen, and you know the line. You see now, and I have it all here, but we're probably going to skip some of it because you remember when I confronted him in tongue about the bloodshed, he said no way, and then they went on radio and said they want to get the tape.
Yes, and they didn't get it yet.
They were lying.
Well, they haven't gotten. Maybe they're going to find the tape tomorrow.
Now, shortly after that, the business was closed, and naturally the staff and everything went home. So we were never able to sort out this thing with Dinky. So Dinky used the opportunity at this time to take the matter to court.
You hear?
Judgment.
You hear? This
is 2009.
This is right. Okay? His thing happened in 2011. He took the matter to... Look, the lawyer letter to him was 2009.
February.
Yes. He totally refused to do anything. Look here.
Dinky Balcombe did the work in 2008.
Right. October.
That's when he got the $900.
Right. I mean...
His business didn't fall up until 2011.
Total fabrication. Total fabrication. Bare-face, bold-face, total fabrication. But you see, I went to North Leeward Saturday, and I came back. Of course, my tape is running. I hear Big talking about people who used to support him, who going after him like lion. Wrong guy, Bigger. Wrong guy. And that is what you all don't understand. I will keep my mouth closed until you all attack me. And don't expect me to be quiet and talk stupidness about turn the other cheek. I tell all you, I ain't that stupid. I ain't that stupid. If I got 2 cheeks, all you going to slap me at one, and then I turn the other one? Wrong guy. So when you or whoever y'all want to come after me, come. Because anything like it, one started with after me since 2013. My son, since June, she started on me. Hello. I'm going to tongue people telling me all kind of stuff. Yes. Hold on a second. I sent her an email. I said, stop your, can I use that word?
No, you can't.
Your faces. Stop it. I got stuff. No. She sent me back something. I'll bring them here.
No.
Because
she's still
carrying on with her foolishness.
Frankie Silva.
Talk. Yeah. I will expose all of you.
Let's play the tape, Crystal.
Because I didn't attend. Because honestly, at that time I didn't want anything at all to upset my head with this struggle which I had going on. Because it was really taking this struggle that I was going through was really taking an emotional toll on me. And to be going to a court, so I didn't go. So he get judgment.
All right, stop it. No. I don't want to be wicked. I just simply want to be factual.
Yes.
He says he had so much on his mind that he couldn't concentrate on that. But why would he have so much things on his mind when it's 2 years down the road? The thing ain't happened yet. Unless he was predicting that the government is going to take away his license. You think that was the case?
I am not going to give that guy any excuse whatsoever. The man moved the thing in October 2008. He wouldn't refuse to pay. And the line there about he moved cement. The guy didn't move any cement.
Right.
All that is necessary. And that
the court documents said cement.
And then he's claiming that Dinky is being dishonest because Dinky wanted to get paid for more work than he did. None of that is bear out in these documents. None of it born out there. None.
Because he
lie.
He got the bill.
Oh man.
And he decided
exactly. There's the bill telling you what I did.
Even pay for whatever reason. I like second guessing him. I don't know the reason why he decided he only paid
somebody might call and tell us if you buy a load of sand now, what it costs you to have it delivered to your house.
Yes.
Right? What the trucks charge you, not for the sand, but to deliver it. He wants to pay $150 from Kingston to Yambu, wrong trip.
I really don't care how much he wanted to pay Dinky. To me, there was an agreement of $300. You heard Mr. Balcombe and say he full up the truck, $1,500 worth of diesel. But you can't tell me that your business is thriving because clearly he was still mining at the time. He was still making blocks at Yambu at the time. And I know everybody, I hear Loser King yesterday saying how the Prime Minister let go his pit bull Hans King and Bigger Bigs. And we're going to deal with that later on, sometime next week when I get some more time. I have the tape. But he never went to court 4 times from your documents there. Not once, you know.
No
not
time.
Twice, you know.
No time. There you go.
It's
everything.
It's contempt for the court.
Yeah, because he named Bigger Bigs, ain't he?
Yes. Yeah,
he's bigger than everybody.
Me not worry them magistrate and judges. Me not worry them. Yeah.
You see, now I got him on saying some nasty things about me. You know, without calling my name, like I'm stupid.
You don't come to that just now. Every French is
after the judgment, he did go through all the process, and this is what was sent to me. Was a summon that I should be locked up. I should be taken to the prison to be in prison for 6 weeks for owing to Dinky Balcombe. Never contested because I was never able to contest the matter in court. And that's the honest truth. That is exactly how it happened. Because I know if our office was operating, my staff would have gone to court with me and able to say that Dinky get paid for what was transported. And that was what I was going to prison for 6 weeks for owing Dinky Balcombe, Cameron Balcombe, $11,036 for 6 weeks.
You could believe anything this guy say after that? Anything at all he says after that you could believe?
You think
this is why I got the other tapes to play. Because now you can't believe nothing he says after that. Absolutely nothing.